Hey guys, welcome back for the third episode, our March edition of our game club. I'm here with Jeff and Steve, and this month we played Hitman from the remake redo trilogy. I'm not sure really what that's called, but it's the 2016 Hitman. How are you guys doing? Welcome back.
Good.
Doing good. Doing good. Excited to talk about this game.
Yeah, this is a very
Yeah,
interesting.
Hitman 1 throwback.
This is definitely an interesting pick. Steve, I believe this was your pick, right?
Was my pick. I
Nice.
played. I mean, I played the old Hitman games like on Xbox back in the day, but this game, like, it was really popular. I mean, it is pretty popular, and I was on a website that I go to often, Giant Bomb, and I listen to their podcast, and they loved this game. They selected this as their game of the year for 2016. So I was always kind of interested in it, and I'd seen a lot of just like cool videos from it, so that got me interested in the game. Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
I think it was a good pick.
So I think I'm going to switch up the formula a little bit and how we do these to kind of cut off some time because the last episode ran a bit long. But I prepared some questions very professionally, and I figure I'll ask the question, kind of go around the room, talk about it, and then once we've all had our say, move on to the next one. Sound good? So
Yeah, let's do it.
Good.
first up question is, how did you get the game? Since we all played Hitman 2016, there's a few variations of this game. Let's start with Jeff. Well, I'll let you go first. How did you get it? What did you play this on?
So Steve told us we were going to play it, and then I know, like, I don't even remember how I found it, but I actually had it on PS4 because I didn't have my PS5 at the time, and I had it on PC through the Epic Store because they just gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up playing it on PC, and I got it for free.
Okay.
Thank you, Epic Store.
Thank you.
I did not know it was on Epic Store. I think I missed it.
Nah, that kind of sucks. So where'd you play that, Steve?
I had it. Apparently, I had it on PlayStation. I don't even remember how I got it. It's a PS Plus game, and I downloaded it.
Yeah.
I grabbed it at some point, but don't even remember. So I had it.
Yeah.
I don't think I bought it.
Yeah, so I kind of did the same thing for mine. I actually had it for the PS Plus game on PS4, but I have a PS5 now, and I actually went out and purchased Hitman 3. I was able to get it pretty cheap. And inside of Hitman 3, if I put the disc in for Hitman 3, you can import the whole game from 1 and from 2 if you own them. So what I had to do it was a very confusing system. It was not an easy, like, all of a sudden you just put disc in for Hitman 3 and it all works happy. I had to go and install or download Hitman that I had digitally on my PS5, download the PS4 version of it. Then I had to go into that game and I had to purchase the free Game of the Year update or upgrade that they'll give you for free if you've already have this game right now. Then I had to go back into Hitman 3 and purchase another something that was like the level 1 upgrades, and then it would import all of the levels from Hitman 1 into Hitman 3. So
How much did this cost?
I mean, all that was free. The only thing it cost me was like $20 for Hitman 3, which I think I got it for 25, something like that. So all of that stuff was free because I already owned the game, and you're able to import it all, which is pretty cool. I don't know the exact benefits of it. I do know that the game looked great on PS5, and I think they up-resed something of just the resolution or the frame rate. I'm not sure, but it looked really good on the PS5. So I played the entire first game in basically Hitman 3 on my PS5. And
I'm curious if there was like anything different between what we played and what you played. It seems like 95% of it was the same.
It was mostly the same. I looked at a couple videos online comparing it a little bit. It did look to be a little bit better looking than the PC version, which you played. I didn't compare it to the other PS4 version or the Xbox version. The little bit I did notice is like the like pressure sensitive controls. Those did seem to work for guns and other things like that, which was pretty neat. Which I think are components of Hitman 3, and I think that was just easy for them to say, hey, if you're shooting a gun, have the type of feedback and stuff. So that was actually pretty nice.
That is cool. That's cool.
Pretty cool.
The graphics are like the same, right, and everything?
They look to be better than what Jeff was playing on the PC. I don't know if there's some kind of...
really?
Pretty good.
Yeah, when I looked at PS5 Hitman 1 versus PC Hitman 1, it looked better. So, I don't know. Could just be me. I don't have actual good stats, which usually I do, so I'm kind of sad. Okay, so yeah, that's where I played it at. So I played it through the PS5. Second question was where you're playing at. We kind of discussed that already. But what are your guys' thoughts on just Hitman? What are your guys' thoughts on the series as a whole overall, what did you guys think about it before you started playing? And then what did you guys think of this game in particular? So, Steve, you go first. What were your thoughts on this game and the series before you played it? Like, what kind of experience did you have?
Sure. I mean, the old Hitman games, I would kind of I played them a long time ago. They were all right. Just forget about them because it was so long ago. So
Right.
I think I had really high expectations for the game. I had seen like a lot of clips online of like Giant Bomb and other people playing it, and them just having like just messing around with the games, just having all kinds of fun.
Mhm.
I know it's a creative sandbox type of game, so you can have a lot of. I felt like this game that could potentially have a lot of fun if you play it a certain way, and yeah, I think that it's kind of a unique. It's a unique kind of game. I don't think I've played a game like this before, so
It's very different than what I thought too. It's kind of how I
yeah,
felt too.
I went in with open mind and high expectations. Let's say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jeff,
so
what about you?
for me, like I mean, I've been following video games for a while, and I always I would always just see Agent 47's bald head like everywhere, but I never really thought much of it. So they were always games to me that seemed very like tactful, full of tactics, and
Tactful.
like very
Okay.
methodical. Yeah, tactful. There we go. And like methodical and like a lot of planning and like stealthing and things like that. So I always kind of tend to shy away from these types of games. But when Steve said he wanted to play it, I was definitely interested in it because it was a series that I've heard has a lot of like high regard for. A lot of people do. So I was interested to try it out. I did kind of go into it with an open mind, like Steve said.
Yeah, kind of along the lines of you. I remember the first few Hitman games that came out a long time ago, and I always thought they were very serious and very like like you have to know what you're doing. It's very like realistic and like these were like big like mature games that I remember like my friends were playing like I was like a kid. So jumping into these and seeing they actually have a pretty good sense of humor for a lot of the different types of like ways of killing you can do. It was interesting to see that it wasn't just this serious like serial killer that had one way to kill everybody, and it was actually pretty unique. I was pretty surprised by that. Have either of you seen the movie? Or I think there's two movies. Have either of you seen any of those?
I didn't even know there was a movie.
Yeah, there's two movies.
I
of
remember
it.
someone vaguely telling me there was a movie, but
Yeah,
never.
I didn't see
I've
it
been seeing
either.
the trailer for. I'm actually curious to see what it would look like, but
I'm curious to see the movie too now that it's come. I have no idea who's in it or if it was even successful. I mean, they made two, so it must have been decently successful. So kind of get into the meat of this all going through. We can kind of talk about. We all went an open mind about this. Doesn't seem like none of us had any real experience with the game prior. So, do you kind of want to walk us through the first maybe level or so, and then kind of tell us about what you guys did and maybe some highlights through the game itself?
I mean, do you want to just go level by level and we kind of just talk about it together?
Yeah, we can do that. We can go level by level. So the
There's
first.
only 6 levels.
Okay, that'll be a good idea. And I actually have the gameplay of the first level. So,
Yeah.
the first level was Paris, and it was you running into. I mean, the whole game for nobody, for anybody who has no idea what we're talking about in this whole game, is you get a mission basically, and you get pulled into the mission, and then you have to assassinate a certain target, and you might have a optional target or an optional objective, and that's basically it. So the first level is a Paris like fashion show type deal. You're in this mansion in Paris, and there's a runway with a fashion show going on, and a couple other things in the background, and each level. I mean, they're all pretty big, like playgrounds. I think one of you mentioned it earlier. So you have
sandbox. Yeah, I call it
sandbox. That's a better way. You basically have all this stuff you can do. You can go anywhere you want, and all the characters, the NPCs, all kind of have things they're doing. They're walking around, they're doing things, and they have like a full like routine that they're going to be going through, kind of, right? So the first level, you're you kind of start off just walking into like you're an attendee at the party that's going on for this big fashion show, and there's food and very, very glamorous. Do you guys remember how you took out the targets in this level?
Let's see. This was the one the one I got to dress up as what was his name? Helmut Krug or something.
Oh, the designer.
The runway model.
Oh, the model. Yeah, that's another thing we should add is like most of the game is you taking out other people and wearing their outfits and they're just costumes, and then it gets wearing their costumes all of a sudden tricks everybody else to believe you're that person or that type of person, and then you get access to different areas and can walk past certain people.
Yeah, and this was probably one of my favorite levels actually, because like
Really?
I mean, it was just so I got to dress up as that guy and I got to go on the runway and I was like, this is awesome. And I ended up getting into a one-on-one meeting with the woman. I think it was Dahlia Margolis. And
I don't know how you
I just killed her in
remember
the room and then hit her in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Pull out that wire thing, and then
you're just more in depth than mine. I literally, the guy I needed to kill.
Kevin plays Hitman. He runs up to every guy and then just shoots him in the back of the head and runs away.
I did do it a few times, but this level I don't remember the girl. I remember I killed her somehow, but I don't remember how. But the guy, I distinctly remember there's a bar that's behind like the runway area where like all the people were kind of gathered, and you could go get a drink, and there were people talking to the bartender, and my target was leaning up against the bar, and I was standing next to him and kind of like eavesdropping, and I walked over to the wall, and I was wearing like a bartender outfit, so I looked like a waitstaff type person, and there's like a switch on the wall or something, and I just walk over it, and like it gives me a notification that I can push a button, so I just press it because I didn't know what it did, and all of a sudden my camera was right on the guy, my target, and a chandelier just fell on him and killed him.
That's awesome.
I had no idea that was going to do that. I had no intentions of killing him right then and there, and that was it. And I just quietly walked away, and then no one said anything. So
yeah, that's a good way. I mean, for that guy, I ended up just pushing him off the ledge onto like into the river, and he died.
Yeah,
So that one wasn't as eventful.
I figured out how to kill the lady, and I got her in a one-on-one meeting, killed her, and like stuffed her in a closet like you did, Jeff. I killed her first, and then the guy, I was like spent a lot of time trying to figure out what to do, and a lot of the opportunities had passed. Like you know, there's a time window when you can do them.
Yeah.
And I was the actor. I just couldn't figure out. I don't know why I couldn't figure out what to do afterwards. And then I was just kind of like messing around. I was like, what if I just shoot him and just run out?
And it worked.
So that's how I just shot. And he was in the middle of a crowd. I just shot him and ran out the level. In the middle of a fashion show with all these people, I just So I kind of cheesed the end. I feel like I ruined my experience in that level by not figuring it out, you know. But after spending enough time on it, I was like, I'll just see how it works.
Yeah, there's only so much time.
I'm curious what it would let you do with that, you know.
There was so much save scumming for me on this.
It does let you do.
I would just save it and then load it and then load it and load it.
I did that so many times.
Yeah, I did a lot of saves coming in this game, actually. And we'll talk about that.
It's pretty funny. Okay, so the next level after Paris is
Spanza.
I just had it and I lost my list. I'm glad you have it. Yeah, so this was the one. I believe you were outside an area and it was like a Spanish like city.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like a big villa and like a big mansion. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, and there's two people you had to kill, and then there was a virus you had to destroy.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, you had to take out your targets and get to the virus. So
yeah,
I ran in. I kept changing the outfits to try to get to different people and become somebody different. And then once I did that, I got up, found my target I needed to kill, shot them in the head. Then I ran out, jumped out the window, and then ran down and went outside. I killed both my targets that way. And then the virus, it was in the basement, I believe. I went down to the basement area where it was all hidden. I dressed up as a scientist, ran all the way in, and I just ran around killing every single other person until I got to the virus. And I think you had to like kill it or infect the virus or something to get rid of it.
Yeah, you had to overheat it and it would destroy it.
Yeah, I did something there. I activated it, and then it said you were winning, and I just jumped out, and that was it. This was a pretty easy level for me.
So this was like, I take it back. Actually, the first level was very cool. I did really like it. This was like peak Hitman for me. So
I think so too. I think this was peak.
The way I like to play this type of game was it's almost like you're watching a story unfold. So I didn't want to have to figure out how to piece the story together. I just wanted to see it happen. So there's these things in this game. Kevin, yours are something. They're called something else, but I think it's the same thing. Called opportunities.
Yeah.
I think Steve, you probably noticed those as
it's
well.
It's on the screen right now. It's opportunities. I'm showing the video.
Yeah. So these opportunities are basically ways. They're kind of like a breadcrumb to get you headed in the right direction, and they would pretty much tell you like, they'd say go get disguised as the for this one I had to get disguised as the golf coach, the golf trainer, but like they don't tell you how to get disguised or wait for them, so you kind of would have to plan out that one part, and that to me was the fun part. So got disguised as a golf coach for one. I think she denied me. I was waiting in a room for her to. She was having an affair with him, but then she like kept walking around and pacing and just left. So I ended up.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to kill her when she's in there. You didn't kill her. You just let her walk out.
Yeah.
I killed her in the room. Yeah.
I should have pulled out my gun and just shot her.
See, I don't know any of this. I didn't do any of this.
I drowned her in the toilet.
In the toilet.
That's awesome.
That's a pretty cool death.
Did you drag her body or something? I should have done that.
I just threw her body in a closet.
Yeah, so I screwed that up. So I ended up killing her by dropping a propane tank down a fireplace, and it exploded and killed her.
Oh, I did that too, but I didn't know what was going on with that, but it just made an explosion and nobody was there. So then everyone freaked out.
There was an opportunity leading up to it where you had to tell her about the virus or something, and she started pacing and walked in front of it, and that's when you had to drop it.
Oh, I screwed that up.
So, like, that was pretty fun. It was cool getting dressed up as a golf dude. And then the guy, he was, like, mourning someone. I dressed up as, like, the flower guy and hid in, like, a crate, and I just came out and killed him. And the virus was kind of stupid. I thought that part was kind of dumb, but killing those two people was really fun. The map was really fun to explore, too.
This map was pretty cool. This is one of the better ones I think we went through.
You do something similar, Steve, it sounds like?
So for the lady I told you guys, the virus, I thought the virus was really cool, and I'm surprised you made it through so easy, Kevin, because it took me several tries of like safe scumming and stuff. Because like
Really?
when you're in that lab, you got to do enough stuff to distract all the people in the lab, right? You have to like have the thing overheat. You got to disable the make this one thing go haywire. So that took me like a few tries to get it. But and who was the other? There's a guy that I just pushed off a cliff.
Okay.
I forget who that was too. Oh, that was the first guy.
Yeah, that might have been the guy in this mission.
That's right. You poison the food, and then he starts to get sick. He starts throwing up. He walks away, starts throwing up on a cliff, and then I just kicked him right off. That was the best. That was the highlight of the game for me. It just feels good to like line it up and just knock him off as objective complete, and no one notices. You just walk off like a badass,
Yep. So after that, this game started getting a little worse because I started kind of doing the Kevin method where you just kill him and run away. So
I found it fun though.
I actually tried to play this game the right way, and I found like as interesting as this game is, it makes you do all these cool weird scenarios and it's so creative. But like if you just forget about that, what the game becomes is kill someone to take their disguise, figure out which disguise you need, kill them, take their disguise, and then go to whatever point you need to go to and interact with, either kill somebody or interact with something.
Yeah, it's very rinse and repeat for sure.
Like the gameplay itself is very actually like simple and basic, even though it was all these scenarios were so out there. Like you're stealing this guy's watch and you're hacking it to explode instead of, you know what I mean? Like that's all cool, but what you're actually doing is getting a disguise, going up to his watch, hitting X when it's on the table, and then just walking away. So
I saw there were sniper rifle kills, but I never did any of them.
I couldn't. I saw them too. I didn't know how to do it either.
I didn't know how to do them.
Did this game remind you guys of anything? It totally reminded me of something.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Grand Theft Auto in a little bit.
I was going to say Golden. This game reminds me of GoldenEye. How there's like these objectives.
Yeah, I get the objectives. I could definitely see that. That's the part I really enjoyed about all these things was, like, a lot of the stuff was rinse and repeat, kill, do this, and you could kind of basically, put on a costume, get to the next floor, put the next costume on, kill somebody, get the next costume, keep going up. But I think the thing that I think it's really, really good at was the level was really unique. Like I would spend 45 minutes to an hour exploring the map before I really did too much. Just kind of like seeing what they did. Like it was just fun to walk around and see what's going on. And then I kind of would make a plan about, okay, how can I get this lady alone? How can I take her out? What can I do here? Another thing that I don't think any of us have really hinted at or even said was the fact that after you beat the level, there's all new objectives and different places you can start. Like the Paris level, instead of starting in the entrance, walking in, wearing a tuxedo, there's a challenge. Now you have to kill somebody different using only certain weapons, and you start off in the kitchen and you start off in a cook's outfit. So it's basically playing the whole level again from a different perspective with different loadouts and different, it's a totally different experience. So the replay value was insane. If you like doing this stuff, like I know, Jeff, you kind of said you got a little tired of it because it is kind of rinse and repeat the same thing. But I mean, if this was my cup of tea, enjoying like loving this type of stuff, going through these levels would not be that hard because there's so many different objectives you can do. You can go back. Oh, now you have 3 targets, and you start off as a runway model, and you're already there, and you have to try to figure your way out from that way, and you don't have a gun.
There's a lot of like. There was even like after you beat it, I think if you got a certain amount of like score or something, you'd unlock a master mode where you only were allowed, I think, 1 save.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
like there were some other conditions in it, so like you could really challenge yourself in a lot of different ways when you replay these levels. So I think we were all kind of in the same boat of like we just wanted to beat it and see the level and move on, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we just didn't play it in the spirit of the game, but I still did enjoy it.
What do you think? You can disable the objective markers and everything. What do you guys think? You think the game would be better? In a sense, it would be like more tedious and it would take a lot more time. But I think the game would be a lot more enjoyable and satisfying if you really spent the time to explore to figure out what all these things are.
If that's what you wanted to get out of it, then I think it would be more enjoyable. I think for us 3, if we shut them off, I would have never beaten this.
I think we wanted a linear experience.
I for sure would have Googled everything because I'd be like, I've got no clue what to do.
Right. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed exploring the levels, but I didn't want to explore every single nook and cranny and know everything. It was more of like, I have a general idea of what's going on. It was kind of cool to see a few things. Okay, ready to move on. So, okay, let's move on to the next level, which is Marrakesh, which is looks like some type of Middle Eastern Mediterranean area.
This level, I did not like it as much.
I did not like this level.
The giant crowd in like the central area.
So
it's started to get annoying, kind of, because like there was too much of a crowd, and I couldn't really get where I wanted to, and I couldn't figure out how to get to the school. And
this was one of the hardest levels for me. Because there were so many people around, it was hard to do anything. The whole main like, I don't want to say purpose, but the main like scenario going on is there's like an uprising of citizens that are causing riots in the streets because a guy that was, I don't know if he was in the government or had lots of money or something, was basically stealing money, and the guy ended up he was going to jail for everything he did wrong, and long story short, some group of people took him out and killed him, he was going to jail, and they took him from going to jail, and they brought him away, and they were going to save him because he was going to go to Sweden or something. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, the point being is there's like 2 sections to the level. There's like the outdoor riots where there's a bunch of people, and there's markets and like outdoor areas and alleyways to explore. And then there's I think it's the Swedish consulate that's there. I think it's Sweden, which is like a big kind of high-tech looking government building. And you have to go and kill, I think, 3 targets. No, I think there was 2. There was the high army general and the guy that got away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was our objectives. And I really struggled with this one because everybody was on high alert inside of the consulate, so there were security guards everywhere, and I could not seem to find the right outfit that would get me past the right guards. So I kept having to kill them, but then I'd have to kill them and then drag their bodies and hide them like across the building. And then the army official, I ended up finding him in the street, and I just shot him through a crowd and then ran. So that one wasn't too bad.
I spent a lot of time on this one. I feel like I did this one right and did it justice, but it was kind of annoying to get to it. There's I think you can basically, when you get to the army base, you can have a one-on-one with the guy. You like basically you pretend like you're the person in the bag, like you're interrogating somebody in a, they have them like with a bag over their head and like sitting on a like a chair, like they're interrogating this guy, like torturing him or something. Yeah. So you can kill that guy, pretend that you're him, sit on the chair, and when he comes to interrogate you, you just get up and kill him. So that was
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You definitely did more than I did for that.
And then the other guy in the fancy, I forget he's like got a massage person, so I pretended to be his masseuse and killed him while his
Wow, you did a lot. I literally just stalked the guy.
It took a lot to like get through all that. I spent probably so much time on that level.
I spent a lot of time on this, but it was mostly just reloading my save because I died over and over.
Getting like kind of frustrated. I kept save scumming because something would happen. And like the save scum, even on my PS5, which supposedly has an SSD, it would take a while to load, and just to open up the save screen, like the load screen menu, would take a few seconds.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I was similar to Kevin. One of the guys I just shot and killed him in pretty much broad daylight, in his room, and I ran away. And they were trying to find me, but I was able to get a different disguise and escape. And the other guy, I had to this one was a little cooler. I had to kind of infiltrate it. like his base where he was, and then he ended up walking into like a bathroom with me, and I just killed him. So it was this mission. I think took me like 25 minutes of actual
Wow.
playtime.
Way
Probably an
more
Took
hour.
me a lot longer than that.
Way more.
Yeah, like because the first guy I just killed so quick, and the second guy I kind of had to figure out how to get through. And once I got it, I was done. But I think, like you said, Kevin, if you play in the spirit of it, you'll enjoy it more. So I'm wondering. I think Steve, you probably got more frustrated than me and Kevin, but your payoff was higher. You
Yeah,
felt
but
better.
at the end, I felt like, was it worth? I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
So I think this level was kind of
Yeah, this wasn't meh. The next level is actually one of my favorites. This is probably my second favorite one. The next one brought us to Bangkok, and
yeah. This one, Bangkok. I enjoyed the level, and I thought it was.
this one.
This level started getting a little bit harder. There's a little more complexity to it. I felt like with all the different there was all the butlers and like all the hotel guests.
This level seemed really big in general. Like there was a lot of space. So the main purpose of this was you had to get into this place. There was like a pop star type person. I don't know, he was a rock star, recording artist, and he allegedly had killed this girl, pushed her off a balcony or something, and we had to take this guy out. He's a huge jerk. Nobody likes him. I don't remember why we're killing him exactly, but we had to get in there, take him out, and then there was. Who was the other person you had to take out? Do you remember? Was it a lady?
The drummer guy, Jordan Cross.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's the main guy.
Oh, you had to kill the lawyer.
The lawyer.
Ken
Okay,
Morgan.
that's the other one. So you had to kill these two guys, but you're inside of like this, like you're in Bangkok, I think, like I said, and it's like it's like a hotel, but there's like a recording studio up on the top floor, and there's just people everywhere. So it was really hard to try to figure out. So I literally ran in. I killed him in the drummer guy was in a recording booth, and he was just in there. Even though there were windows in it, I walked in and I just killed him, and then carefully walked out. And then some guy went in after him to look at him, and then finally found out he was dead. But I was gone by the time they found his body. And the other guy was upstairs, and they had like this garden out in the like this glass area. And I had to keep moving around and following him until it was like right at the right point where there was nobody around, and I think I strangled him or I threw something at him and killed him. And that was it.
Yeah.
This
one.
It was a cool area, but I didn't do any of the cool stuff again. I just did a quick kill and be done.
Yeah, I was pretty much similar to this. So, like you kind of said it, Kevin. Basically, there was Jordan Cross was the lead singer of a band, and then he killed like his girlfriend a year before, and the lawyer helped him get out of it. So your goal was to kill Jordan Cross and the lawyer, Ken Morgan. So for Ken Morgan, the lawyer, when you start this mission, he's basically kissing you because he's right in front of your face.
He was in check-in, wasn't he?
I think he was in check-in.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to
save
this. Let's see if I can just cheese this one. So I went right up to him, aimed my gun at his head, popped him right in the back of the head, and I darted off like a little kid who knocked over a jar of cookies or something. And then for the singer, their drummer they had to use a substitute drummer, and he'd never met him before. So I was able to like knock the drummer out, take his disguise, and then I went into like a private room with him, and I killed him. So this one was kind of the same thing, like you said, Kevin. Just kind of got in, got out. I didn't spend a whole lot of time.
Right.
I feel like Steve probably like
no.
Steve's like, I joined the band.
Guys in the butler, and I threw a teacup at him.
He went on tour with the drummer. Finally killed him 6 months later.
No, so this one, you can be the exterminator, and you can just pump the exterminating stuff into like the vents. And both the characters were in the main area when I did it. Everybody in the main atrium passes out. And then I just walked up and just snapped both the targets' necks because everyone's passed out, and then just walked out. But actually, the thing is, everybody sees you when you do that, because even though everyone's passed out in the atrium, the weird thing about this game too, I wonder if you guys noticed this, like people would see you do stuff, and I was like, "There's no way anyone saw me," like Grime noticed and shit. I was like, "No," like because I'm in a room where everyone's passed out, and I kill these two guys, and like someone's watching me from the windowsill or some, I don't know. It's like wasn't lenient enough on that.
That was a big part of my save scum. So I would kill someone. Right. I'd see crime notice, and I was like, "Where? Where is that person?"
Yep.
Talking about the save stuff, I think it was in the last level in Marrakesh. I remember I had killed the first guy, who was in the guy that was in the like consulate, and the other guy was the army guy. And I had saved it right after I killed the first guy. And I'm trying to kill the second guy, and accidentally loaded back on a wrong save because the saves, like the timing on it, I had to keep looking by time played and level because I'd had like 8 saves. And this is, maybe it's just on the PS5 version because it's in Hitman 3, but they were not well enough for me to remember which save I did. Because I'm like, okay, was it this one? So I ended up going too far back, then accidentally saved over the save I wanted to be at and had to go back and re-kill the guy. Because the first time I killed that guy, I killed him with the missile launcher, and I wasn't able to do it again on my reload of the save because I was too far away to get the key for, I don't know. Point being was the save system really kind of sucked, and especially for a game that they know you're going to save a lot, I wish they would just put like, with the order you've done it, or put the most recent at the top or something like that.
Yeah, this was one of those games where, because I used I don't know how many there was, 8 or 10 slots.
I used every one
of them. So each slot just stayed the same.
And mine was left to right. I don't know if it was like that on your version.
Well, every slot was whatever the save was that slot. So if slot 3 had the latest save, it was slot 3 always. So mine, I had to, in my head, go down the line and remember where I was.
Right. And I screwed it up.
It had like a little picture of it, and it had the map, and it had the play time, so I was kind of able to use that to coordinate it.
The autosaves were pretty. It was like every 4 or 5 minutes.
They were pretty generous. Yeah.
But like I ended up save scumming because I was like, I'm just gonna kill this person. I want to see if anyone sees me.
That's exactly what I would do. I was like, okay, I was able to kill him. They didn't die.
And I was too scared to save over it after I killed him because I'm like, what if like 10 minutes from now someone finds the body and then I'm scrambling, I'm screwed. I got to reload it. So I would get so scared of that.
Oh, jeez. All right, so the next level, this was actually my favorite level. We were put onto like a remote farm-like thing in Colorado.
Tough one.
This one was really tough. I think I spent the most time on this one. I'm putting a video on it, just showing up like this. I actually kind of followed the story a little bit between these levels, and I loved the like before mission like synopsis they give you.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like it was like
as a whole was just cobbled together.
Yeah, the story was kind of dumb, but it was still kind of fun to see like the targets and get a little background information and that kind of stuff. So this level, you're in a farm. I couldn't even tell you the targets. There were 3 of them, I think, in this one. There was like some type of
4.
Was there 4? I couldn't remember. But
Rose, Urza Bird.
This one took a while. There were 4 or 5. There were so many targets.
Yeah, it took me a long ass time to figure this one out. I had a lot of fun on it though because I thought the environment was really neat. I actually. The first like couple, there's like a old farmhouse, like a big house that's on the site that you're at. I killed the targets that were outside. I kind of just took them out, did the like kill them, hide them type of deal, and then I get into the house and there's a guy in a room, and I could not kill this guy because there were like 6 guys all around the room in the hallway upstairs. I could not figure it out, so I finally was just like, you know what? Maybe if I just start killing them one by one, I can just take the guards out and him at the same time, right? Well, I was able to do that, but I had to end up killing probably about 45 different security guards, and there was bodies everywhere.
Some kind of mass murder.
I couldn't believe it.
You start playing it like Call of Duty all of a sudden.
No, it was, and I kind of played it as a joke.
Not how you're supposed to play.
Because I had a shotgun, and I just went through and just took everybody out, and no one caught me because I just kept killing them. So I just stood in this room, and if they walked in, I'd shoot them. But I did this for like 25 minutes. And I was able to win, and I successfully got it, and I ran away, and it looked like a mass murderer came through. It was pretty pathetic. Funny enough, though, I'm watching the video. I have it on the stream. You guys can't see it, but it's showing the guy going through this level, and he's in a sniper tower just sniping everybody.
All the targets.
I have no idea how he did this. Like, where did you get the sniper at? How did you get up this tower?
I don't even know. Maybe, like, I was wondering if maybe the sniper thing you had to start with the rifle and like.
Apparently, he found one.
Yeah,
it looks really cool too. I wish you guys could see this.
I want to go back and try sniping. I feel like that'd be cool.
No, like the sniping, like the view this guy has is amazing. I'll have to show you this video when we're done with the call. You or watch the video after, but like the view from this thing, it looks really nice. And he's just literally looking through the whole level, and he can like get close-ups on everybody. It's crazy.
Of the 6 levels, this is probably my 3rd favorite one.
Oh, this is my first favorite.
More than Paris, or
I like this the most. I just like this environment. I like Colorado Farm.
I put the second least favorite level, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I feel like there were two, like, it just was annoying me. I tried to do all the objectives, and it's like I kept getting spotted, and there's so many guards everywhere.
I loved the house. I just liked the house. I thought it was fun to kind of I always like games. There's big houses, and you can if you go to your map, every room is labeled. Like it's a very Luigi's Mansion feel, and I always like that. I don't know.
This annoyed me so much in this level. There's the one way I killed the guy in the house is that you can like reprogram his watch to like explode, and he gets to put down his watch. And for the life of me, I could not figure out when is he going to take off the goddamn watch.
I couldn't figure it out.
Because it was like I was following him around. It was like he still has his watch on. And like you got to do this like be in the right place, right time. You have to wait like 5 minutes in this spot. So like I wasn't. Yeah. I had to Google it to figure it out. Yeah, it was just,
I did Google several times to try to figure some things out.
That's what happened to me in the first mission. I spent all this time getting this rat poison and getting a disguise and learning this guy's cocktail. And I go to the bar and I mix it up, and the guy's nowhere fucking to be found. So I don't know.
Pretty funny.
Like Steve said, maybe I should just went on Google. I don't know.
I definitely Googled stuff.
But like some of these, I had some good times killing them. Like this one guy had to go into this like interrogation room, and I killed the guy who was interrogating him. So he came down or out of the glass, and then like I murdered him. And then another woman I threw into like a mud pit, and she drowned. And then another woman there was a tactical like training thing that they were doing, so I disguised as one of them. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and then I killed her with the battering ram. Oh, and it looked like an accident, so that was pretty funny.
I killed that lady. There was a car lift, and you could drop a car. I think I dropped it right on her. I remember. I don't know if I was actually able to do it or I shot her right after, but I did one of the two.
I wish I could tell you guys how many save scums I did in that level for every single thing. It must have been like 100 of them.
Jesus.
And like whatever the playtime was in the game, it was a tiny fraction, right? Because like play it, restart it. So to me, it's just this level was just too much of that, and it just became like tedious. The
ending was the 3D printer that I think Kevin you got stuck on.
I couldn't find that damn 3D printer. Did you both use the 3D printer to get into the door?
Yeah, the 3D printer took me like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah, I found it quick.
I could not find it.
It's like as a go-to. I thought.
I ran around the whole house trying to find it. I was on the wrong floor. I was looking.
I'm wondering if that was the PS5 thing. They weren't telling you where it was.
I don't know. Maybe it was all weird. So yeah, after that, I got in and then killed the guy in the basement. I think there was something in the basement. There was like what was in the basement? There was a guy. There was a hostage in there, right? I accidentally killed him. Yeah. I wasn't supposed to, and I killed him by accident.
Oh, I killed him on purpose to draw the other guy out.
Oh, I think
you were supposed to kill him.
I did some. Oh, really? I don't know. I just remember killing him, going, "Oh shit, that wasn't my target." I don't remember why I did it.
600 people on this map, but he feels bad for the hostage.
It's true.
There's literally a genocide, but Kevin feels bad for the one hostage.
All right. Now, last level we pulled into, and now we go to Hokkaido, Japan. And you start off in this.
Hated this level.
What?
I absolutely hated this level.
This was my least favorite level too.
Yeah, it was just annoying the shit out of me. The way they designed it with like the doors you needed access to, and too many people. It was so hard to do anything in the level. It took
me 15 minutes to beat this level. It was so easy for me. I literally started the level.
I don't know how.
The level, you're basically in this like spa in Japan somewhere, a very traditional Japan style.
You're at a hospital. You're at some exclusive hospital in Hokkaido.
It's like
Hokkaido,
some fancy ass place, yeah. And they're doing like surgery on people, but it's also got like spa rooms and all kinds of like what is it, onsen or whatever they're called for like the springs and all this. And I started off the level, and one of my targets was right in front of me with two guards. So I shot all three of them.
You don't have a gun. How did you kill them?
I had a gun somehow. I shot them.
See, I'm wondering if that's why Steve and I were so mad, because this level, when you start in our version, you don't have anything. You literally have just a rope.
I didn't have anything either. I got a gun from one of the guards. So I remember I went into the bathroom. I killed one guard, brought him into the bathroom, found another person in the the bathrooms were huge, and all the bathrooms have closets in it. That was like something I learned.
Yeah, that was nice.
So I killed the guard, took his outfit, got a gun from him, I believe, and then put him and the other guy in the closet in the bathroom. Then I walked out as a guard, shot them, threw them in the bathroom, but there wasn't closet space, so I put them in the stall, shut the door, and then I just ran to the next person, shot them, and they were alerting because they saw the body of the first person, and then just finished off the targets. It literally took me under 20 minutes to beat this. I can't remember the second person how I killed them, because I remember being in the hospital area and the old man was on the table. Oh, the heart. It was the heart or something, right?
Yeah.
I destroyed his heart. That's what I did.
Or whatever. But I spent so much time just like walking around, observing, trying to like try things out.
I was so ready to be done.
I feel like I would enjoy
level.
it more that way, but it kind of got especially by this point. What actually happened was after the last level, I took a break from the game for like a week or two, and I just finished Hokkaido. So, like after that Colorado level, I was like, it just was getting too tedious.
Look this one up, Steve.
I
did.
I had to look up certain parts of it. I think the last part, I killed this first girl. I killed you can have like a private yoga lesson with her, be her yoga instructor.
You did so much.
You can kill her that way. Yeah.
Well, that's
But as cool as it was, like I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but it's like what you're doing in the game is fundamentally the same thing. It's just like get to the disguise, go to the place and do it, and it sounds so cool when we talk about it, and it is. But like what you're doing,
it does get old a little bit.
It's just like walk here, hit X.
It's a good game. You need breaks between. Like I'd play one level for like an hour and a half, kind of going through it a lot, and then I'd be done for the night. So I couldn't do too much.
I mean, there's more to it. It's more like timing too. It's not just go to thing, hit X, like follow pattern. Like there's timing.
There's more to it, and I'm not doing the game justice by dumbing it down like that. But it started to feel like that way sometimes. I think this is a game that you need to play with somebody or people, and just mess around with, and just have like goofy, fun experiences with. I think if you're playing it on your own and you're trying to just follow the objective to get each thing in a series of events, I feel like that is not like you got to play this game a certain way. And what I credit this game for is how open and sandbox style it is, right? Like you can just Call of Duty style and just kill everybody and walk out. You can really mess around and be creative and come up with your own ways to kill people.
It is unique, hearing the different stories of how we've all handled it. Like, it does seem like the easy cop-out way is just go kill your target, run away, change your costume.
That's
so
what it sounds like.
I mean, I'm actually glad they gave me that option, because some levels that I just didn't like, I was able to do that in. But then the levels that I really did enjoy and kind of wanted to play through some of the like role playing was actually kind of cool to do.
Well, this level for me, I was like, okay, this is like the last level. It's kind of like a final boss. I'm gonna, dig my claws in. I'm gonna really figure this thing out. Like, I'm not gonna get help. I must have spent, this was like a Friday or something. I must have spent like 45 minutes walking around this damn level. And I tried doing one of the opportunities to kill the woman, and like it was not making sense to me. And finally, I just gave up. I went online and just looked it up because I wasn't having fun anymore. I walked around this level so much, I just got bored. So
yeah, it gets bad. Okay, so we'll wrap up the levels here. That was the last of them, and I'll go back to the last couple questions here to sum everything up. So, what did you guys think was your favorite part, your least favorite part of this game? So I'll go first. My favorite part I kind of talked about was the Colorado level. I thought just being in that building was really cool, and I know it was kind of cheesy and dumb and stupid and kind of cheating, but being able to kill all the guards and just run around, it kind of made me feel badass for just a little bit. My least favorite parts about the game, though, was probably going to be the rinse and repeat style of it. Like, it literally was. I hated, it's like one of the levels, there was like 4 levels, and you literally just had to get a different costume for every level. It was just like,
yes.
Okay, go to a floor, now you got to change to be the security guard that has a higher level authority to get into the next level. Oh, now you have to be a higher level security guard to the, like, especially because the guy just saw me walk by 5 seconds ago, and you see a big bald guy wearing a black suit, and all of a sudden I'm wearing a gray suit now with the same bald head with the UPC code in the back, and I'm allowed to go up and again. It just, or the fact that I would kill his partner, he'd get mad, I'd hide, and then he just was okay with him being dead. Like, it was the AI was bad.
The second or third one.
I think worst part is AI and rinse and repeat. What about you, Steve? What would you next?
The best part, I think, is going to be so variable and subjective. But for me, the best part is like when you just have there's a moment with this game where you set up a cool kill, you do something cool, and you're just like, man, that felt awesome. For me, that moment was when I kicked that guy off the cliff in the second level, when like you poison his food, he goes to he kind of walks away to start throwing up, and then you just look at it feels cool. Yeah, it gives you this cool feeling like you're actually an assassin that's actually like a badass, And then also I like whenever you start a new level, that's kind of exciting because like there's so much weird exploration that you do wandering this new area.
Yeah.
Definitely those are the highlights. The downside's basically the same as Kevin. I think this is kind of starts getting, not like that Colorado level, just kind of like rinse and repeat. Get the new
So
costume, go
much,
to the
yeah.
marker, hit the X to do whatever they want you to do with the marker. You know,
Yeah. Jeff, what about you? Best and worst
Um,
part?
yeah, for me, I think the best part was probably like the beginning of the maps when were trying to piece everything together. I think that to me was fun, like the exploration and kind of seeing what you could try to do and where you could try to go or what options are available. But I think the worst part was, and maybe this is probably just a sign of my patience, but when it would go on too long and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of over this. Like, can someone just tell me where I need to go?
Right.
Can you just give me a couple more breadcrumbs and tell me like, okay, where is this costume or where do I need to, what area do I need to be in for this? I think if they would have guided a little bit more, so I wouldn't have gotten to that frustrated point, it probably would have been a little bit more fun.
Okay, that's fair. All right, with the very last question here, I'm gonna start asking this like before the final score, I guess. So get ready to give your score. But what would I'm reading it and I'm looking at nothing. Would you recommend this game to somebody else? So, Jeff, you go first this time. And it didn't start
Um,
off this time.
I think if you could get it cheap or like we did for free, I think
Yeah.
I would recommend it. I think it's worth a one-time playthrough just to get a taste of the series and um, see if you really like it. And if you do really like it, then you can have a lot more fun with it than I think all three of us did doing all the extra stuff.
I appreciate what this game is doing. I think I would recommend it. I think people should try it out. There's a group of people that are going to love a certain type of gamer, certain type of person is going to love this. I know it. I don't think it's me personally, but I know there's people out there that would just love screwing around with these levels and finding every last way to kill somebody and getting such a thrill out of doing it. So I would recommend it just because it's cheap. It's a well-made game. Controls well, no bugs.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would definitely recommend it to someone. I might recommend the series overall, maybe not just the first one. I mean, that's kind of a cheap answer, but I ended up buying, because I bought Hitman 3, so I do have the third one. I ended up going and completed my trilogy, and I purchased Hitman 2. I got that pretty cheap. So now I'm able to play Hitman 1, 2, and 3 all within one disc in Hitman 3. And to me, this game, I think it excels when you have someone else you're playing with.
Yes, for sure.
I played a little bit with one of my buddies who was over, and he's not a huge gamer, but him watching me play and we kind of arguing about it and joking about what was going on was kind of fun. And he even suggested some things. So I do want to play through the second one and the third one. I mean, they're not super, super long games, which is nice. You can play it level by level and just do little chunks. But I usually have a buddy who comes and stays a couple days over a weekend, and we'll play through a game or something. This is like a good game for that. I think it's something we can, sit down, play together, take turns, joke about. You don't have to be too serious, and it's not like, it's a good single player game, but it's also pretty good, like, in a weird way, couch co-op-y kind of game. So
I'm curious how the other two are.
I'm
like,
also
what they changed.
yeah, I'm very curious to see how things get up to the third one, because I assume they fix little things in the second one and little things again in the third one, but I don't know. It's interesting, but all right. Well, thank you guys for.
We give a number.
Oh yeah, that's the last part. I literally have that in my notes: score and then end, and I just totally skipped right to end. Steve, what's your number? What do you give this game out of 10?
Oh, I have to go first. I don't like this.
You're the one. That
I am. To me, I'm going with an 8. I'm going with an 8. I feel like it's a good game. Did some things. It's kind of not for me. I appreciate people who rank this way higher. I'm solid 8.
I think I would go. I think I'd go a 7.5. I think the foundation's good. There's a lot of fun things to do, but I think it does get a little repetitive if you're just trying to burn through it.
I see. It's such a weird thing, because it's like in my head I want to just say, I would say 8, because I'm like, oh, that's like a good safe score where it's like there's a little room to grow. I wish they fixed a few things, but then I remember some of the AI being really bad, like really bad. So then I'm kind of leaning towards 7-ish, but it's like I don't want to do that cheapo like 7.5, because I always do that, I feel like, but it kind of feels like that good 7.5 type game. I just feel like there are issues. It doesn't ruin the game, but if those issues were fixed, this game would be awesome. And I feel like even if any of us really took a little bit more time with the game and saw the amount of like replayability you have, like I don't know, it might be kind of cool to not really going to do it, but it would be cool to like look and see the other objectives they give you and try to like put a different twist on it all. Going through the levels again, I don't know. So, I don't know. Overall, pretty good game. I'm glad I played it. This is a good Gamers Club game.
Yeah, I was glad I played it.
So, okay, now I can say my spiel. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of Gamer Club Monthly for March, playing 2016's Hitman. Next month, we are playing, I believe, Jeff. You're the month of April of 2021.
Yep.
And we are playing Concrete Genie, which I believe was the PlayStation Plus game for, what month was it? For February?
Or 2 months
I
ago?
think it was
Yeah,
for February. I don't think it was this past
God,
year.
I hope I got it.
So we'll be playing that, and yeah, we look forward to talking about it again. So thank you guys. This was fun as always. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Take it easy.